Well, look at this. I've got the project bike on the work table. We definitely owe you guys some updates. I haven't really done a lot with this. We've been really busy. Now it's time for me to get this thing all set so the kid can ride this bike a little bit this year and we can show you the project as promised. Remember, this is brought to you by our good friends at Precision Track Days and Two Wheel Dyno Works ECU Tuning. Okay, so what are we doing here? If you remember back, and I'm sure Clark's going to put some of the previous footage in, the bike was in a front end wreck. The forks were pushed back. They were both severely bent. From inspecting the bike when I tore it down, it appeared to me that the majority of the damage, if not all, was going to be in the front forks. I visually inspected the triple clamp. You know, one of the things you want to focus on is the steering stops on the lower triple clamp. Neither one of those had any serious signs of impact. Neither one was broken off. That's a very good sign. I took the bent forks off, and you remember they were bent so far back that they were actually touching the OEM header. I replaced those with a set of forks that we got from Northeast Cycle, right? My buddy Kyle over there put those on, a known set of straight forks. They installed in the triples, no problem. Everything seems to be good with the triple. A lot of times, if you have a bent triple clamp, when you go to install straight forks in it, they really don't want to go in. You'll note I do have our M4 exhaust header just lightly mocked up on there. After I installed the forks, it was still close to the header. I mean, it was like maybe 2 fingers, right? Something like that. I didn't have the benefit of working on this bike pre-crash, so I had no idea what it looked like visually. So I did have a little bit of concern for how close that was. So I took and removed that, and it's over there on the cart, and I just slid on the header real fast. Now I've got plenty of gap back there. It's going to work fine with the race body. Like, it's not even tight. It's going to sit probably somewhere about there. Plenty of gap there. Okay, that settled my mind a little bit. But then still, you know, the bike was in a big enough crash. If you can take a couple of measurements to give yourself an idea of how is our headstock, right, in the frame? Is it twisted? Straight? Are the forks now straight? I have a chassis measuring system, right? And, you know, this isn't something like you're going to find a GMD Combi track. This is going to be like a good trackside thing. I use it for rear axle alignment on all of Max's bikes. I've used it for that for years. And when there's a really big wreck, I'll pull this thing out, and it just helps to give me an idea of what's bent, and most importantly, after I make the repair, is it straight now? So what we're going to measure right now on this Kawasaki is we want to have an idea of where our headstock is at, right? The headstock of the frame that the steering stem goes through. Got rods that are put through, and there's going to be a slight margin for error with this. Remember, like I said, this isn't something super technical, but it's a great basis. We're through the swing arm pivot. We have a rod with cones installed through the steering stem. And what we're going to do here is, it's just a little laser thing. And you want to kind of move this until you get to about the smallest number. Looks like we're going to be about, probably about 3. Okay, so that's our lower measurement. Leaving the rod in place. I'm going to take the scale off. Put that on the top now. And you can see we're within a millimeter. Per the instruction sheet that came with this, if you're at that millimeter, you're in spec. And you got to remember, like, you know, especially a bike it's never 1,000,000% perfect. Okay, we're taking a salvage bike here and putting it back together, getting it on the track. Okay, so now we know that the headstock of the frame is in good shape. Good. Next up, what I'm going to do is I want to measure the fork. And we can do that quite easily on both sides. We're going to slide this through our front axle. You do want to try and get that as tight as you can to reduce the amount of play.
That's
Now we're going to take that same scale you can see there's just a little variance there, just a tiniest little bit. Okay, we're going to do this now on the other side. It really is kind of amazing how resilient these bikes can be when it comes to, a good wreck and the durability of the frame.
oh, please. App.
Okay, we'll go ahead and snug that up. Same thing. I mean, it's just right on there, right? So what does that show us? That shows us the relationship to this pivot, right? And this front axle is quite straight. That looks really good. I feel like now we're in a position where I know the bike is definitely, without question, straight enough so we can go ahead and proceed forward with the project. Now, next steps are going to be, I want to get this front end completely buttoned up. And in order to do that, still with the front end impact that we had, I need to take the entire front end apart. So now that I know, okay, we're straight, I don't need a triple clamp, right? I believe the frame to be good. I think we've shown that now. The frame is good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to disassemble the front end completely. We're going to remove the triple clamp from the motorcycle. I want to inspect the bearing races to see if there's any impact, right, from the bearing against the race that maybe creates an imperfection in the race. You can feel that with your fingernail, clean all the grease out. And that's something that we will show you in a video because that's something that's worth watching. Setting a steering stem on a bike and getting that torqued and preloaded properly so you don't have any free play in it and you don't have any unnecessary drag is a very important step when reassembling a bike. You need to make sure that you have all the right sockets to get that done, right? Like I've got a bunch of different castle sockets for this. I think I ordered one in just for the, we got one for our Suzuki. Obviously, I've done that one many times. I think we ordered something from Graves so that I can get this torqued. I did purchase a 2023 Kawasaki ZX-6 service manual. We're going to use that definitely as a guide. What I will ultimately end up doing is a lot of a torque spec, especially on fasteners on the bike, that are taken, you're removing wheels all the time, you're pulling forks all the time, stuff like that. We're usually going to back down the torque setting just a little bit, right? So you're just not overstressing those fasteners all the time. When I purchased the Team Hammer Suzukis, that's kind of when I learned a lot about that. It came with a torque sheet that they have established. I can't share that because, I mean, it came with the bike, whatever. But what I learned there is when you compare that to the OEM settings, they're definitely backing off what the OEM numbers were, especially for things like, axles. There's just no reason to take these axles to, 80 foot-pounds, right? Whatever the number is. No reason whatsoever. You're changing tires on these bikes constantly. They need to be just tight enough because they're never going to be left in service for, years or months. The axles on the bike, when you're at the racetrack, they're left on for, if you're a track day rider, a weekend maybe? You're probably at least going to flip your rear tire. And racing at Moto America, these tires and wheels are off the bikes all the time. It's constant. You are changing tires all day long on these machines. So you back those torque settings off a little bit, and the service life of everything is extended, and it also helps to reduce drag and different stuff like that. So I think this is a pretty cool little update showing you some stuff that we'll do here in the shop. And I promise there is more of this on the way this week. If you have any questions, leave those in the comments section of this. I answer all that stuff myself. I'm always here to help you get the same result from your next project. We do ours.